Welcome to the CMS Peer Observation Screencast.
I'm Dr. Tori and Julie Kennedy, and I will be one of your facilitators today.
And I'm Renee Goles, and we're so happy that you have joined us. Those of you who attend this brief 10-minute or less screencast will understand the peer observation process and feel confident about conducting a peer observation.
Let's start by talking about the responsibilities of a peer observer. First, you should know that teachers who are on a comprehensive plan are required to have a peer observation. Beginning teachers are evaluated on a comprehensive evaluation plan, but experienced teachers who are new to CMS or who do not have a continuing license are also evaluated on a comprehensive plan, which requires a peer observation. As a peer observer, you want to make sure to build a relationship with the teacher you are observing. The peer observation should not be a flyby visit, but rather an investment into that teacher's career. Let them know you care about them and are there to support them as an educator. You will observe a teacher in their practice for 45 minutes. Last, you will provide meaningful feedback in their North Carolina teacher evaluation ratings, as well as the comments and post-conference you have with them. Ensure that your feedback is aligned to the teacher evaluation rubric intended to improve their future performance and impacts the achievement of their students. Pause for a moment and write down 1 or 2 qualities you think are important for you to possess as a peer observer.
All peer observers must be trained. Options for training are outlined on the screen. Since you are watching this screencast, you are meeting one of these requirements. Please be sure to access the bit.ly on the screen to make your job as a peer observer as meaningful as possible. It is full of tips and reminders for effectively observing and providing feedback to your peers. Your review is required before you conduct the peer observation. We will zoom in on one part together now, which is instructions for entering the observation into My Talent. One of the things we want to highlight from the tips sheet are the My Talent directions for completing the peer observation. Once you have observed the peer, follow these instructions on the last page of the Tips for Peers document to put your observation ratings into My Talent.
Now we're going to dive into the peer observation process. You are going to rate the descriptors on the North Carolina Teacher Evaluation rubric. Rating levels are developing, proficient, accomplished, and distinguished. Not demonstrated is also a rating, but it is reserved for teachers who have never done something in their practice, and as a peer observer, you will probably not use this rating level. Developing equates to knowledge. Does the teacher know what is described in the element? Proficient is action. Is the teacher showing what is described in the element descriptor? Accomplished is interaction. Is there evidence of student learning of what is described in the element descriptor? And last, distinguished shows extension. Is the teacher impacting teachers and students outside his or her classroom? There is also a rating called not looked for, and it is used for elements that are not observed during a peer observation. We will share those with you in a moment.
Take a moment to read over these guidelines. Maybe snap a picture or screenshot them so you can review them later. Remember to be confident in yourself as an observer. To do that, you should become familiar with the evaluation tool. Share your role as an observer with the person you will be observing. Share the purpose for the observation and be sure to explain the rating scale. When you are conducting the observation, We want to remind you to please be honest and provide constructive feedback that improves performance. Peer observers should maintain ethical practices at all times. Observations should last at least 45 minutes, so please schedule with your peer appropriately. Peer observers must document evidence of what they see and hear. A post-conference is required within 10 days of the observation.
After you conduct the observation and you enter your ratings into My Talent, you are also going to enter peer observation comments. You will need to provide comments for each standard of the peer observation. And please ensure that your comments match the ratings you are giving to each element. Strong comments should promote employee growth. They should highlight the key strengths of the teacher as well as areas for growth, and indicate the current performance level and what specific growth is needed to move that teacher into the next rating category. Here are some additional suggestions for strong comment feedback. Write your comment as an impact statement using a cause and effect format to serve as a useful coaching feedback tool. What was the impact that the teacher did on the student's learning? Provide evidence of the lesson observed. What did you see and hear in the observation? Should be included in your comments. And make sure to use accurate grammar and mechanics. Make sure the teacher's name is spelled correctly. I personally like to type up my comments in either Word or a Google Doc to help catch spelling and grammatical errors, and then copy and paste them into the observation. You will also conference with the person who you did a peer observation for. We want to make sure you have some strategies to be successful during this post-observation conference, which should be within 10 days of the observation. In your conference, make sure your language is positive. Even if you're giving constructive feedback, frame it as support. Stay factual to what you saw and heard during the observation without making inferences. Offer suggestions that will improve a teacher's practice, and ask the teacher if they understand the suggestions or feedback you are providing. Maintain professionalism at all times, including not sharing what you see and hear in a teacher's classroom with other teachers. Be aware of your personal biases. Feedback that you once received may or may not be applicable to the teacher you are observing. And be considerate in your use of the words I, should, always, never, etc. Remember that your way of doing things isn't always the only way to accomplish a task.
This information is included in the Tips for Peers sheet, and you may also want to snap a picture or take a screenshot of this slide as a reminder. When conducting the peer observation, you will provide feedback on the following elements in the following standards. You have now fulfilled a peer observer training requirement. Be sure to fill out the form on the screen to gain credit, and remember that all bit.lys are case sensitive. We appreciate you watching this screencast today and invite you to keep in touch with us. You can email us or visit our website, which are listed on the screen. And we also invite you to follow us on social media for contests and giveaways. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.